Last year. License and permits, we don't really have anything in there. That's just a line item that, I think there's one small thing in there that's, it might be the FAA license for the radios, I'm not sure.
Okay.
And then the mulch and pine straw staying the same. Office supplies is going up about $700 a year. Cost of, paper products, ink, all that stuff is going up. Payroll has went up about what I have currently, about 6% or 7% over last year, about a $45,000 increase over last year. Payroll taxes and fees. Pretty much, it's going to go up a percentage here. 16%.
John, before you get to the taxes, the payroll taxes, you said that
About 10,000 a year.
you said the payroll was going up 7 to 10? 7%.
What I got in here right now is 7.
But actuals is at 563 for this year, and the proposed budget is 671. That's 108. From what I'm seeing in here. Do you have the same book that we have?
Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah. So I have 608, 517 is what it's increasing to.
No, I have
This is
671.
It says 671. That number? That's with, because before this has the assistant in it. Yeah, I'm sorry, my numbers I was giving you, I didn't have this, with Todd coming back, I rushed and put him in here.
So we didn't have a first assistant in the budget last year at all? Even though we didn't have him?
Yes.
We didn't have him the whole year?
Yes. No, we had Todd, we lost Todd about 4 months ago. No, hold on, I don't know why.
I'm not sure what last year's budget was. You're saying our actuals of last year, because we didn't have an assistant, was 563. Having him back is going to increase that cost, obviously, and then the comp for everybody else went up, I know, 50 grand.
I would suggest put that.
Oh, you know what? No, I'm sorry.
Because the labor went up.
Because, so I wanted to do some cost increases of, I put buying back vacation. I want to talk about in payroll, about possibly using that as a tool to get people in. That's like, hey, if you don't work and you're here working, we used to do. It's just an idea. The total cost on that was like, about 15,000 total if everybody did it, but not everybody's going to do it. There might be 2 people, 3 people that actually, what I think would be more about 7,000 of that actual 15.
I'm certainly not opposed to the budget for payroll going up on maintenance, seeing that everybody's struggling with getting maintenance, including us, so.
Right. This is round 1. I rushed to get this in with Eileen. I said, yeah, I'll do it just to try to, but I'll have a more comprehensive breakdown per person, per increase, all that next month.
Gotcha.
And then you'll have the vacation buyback.
Vacation, all that line item per person, how much it is, their cost would be all that.
And you're still going to include in there the second assistant and your 2 laborers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, they're
Already in there. And we did get everybody an increase last year to keep them.
correct.
That should be included in the budget.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Plus this 20% increase is what I'm, so this is a 20% increase versus a 7.
I don't think the projected through numbers are correct.
No.
I don't think so.
Okay.
That's the issue.
So we're not, this isn't final anyway.
So we gave raises in February, March.
Yes.
That's going to throw our budget numbers
Oh.
way over
Right.
what was actual. So we need to like adjust these projected numbers. I'm looking at mine too, I see the same thing.
Yeah, because the projected
So
is...
you're looking at budget versus actual. I got you, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pay-related group insurance is actually going down. We have less people on insurance. So that's a savings of like $8,000 a year, a little over.
Me too.
The 401k match is going to be roughly the same.
He's got it written down, see, that's right. Because ours, on the book here, the insurance goes up
It's going up 11 instead of down 10.
in the book.
We'll get it finalized, but this isn't final to vote on.
No, it's not even close, we got
Yeah.
2 more months.
Wow, I don't know what the hell. It's all right here, but I don't. Okay,
Yeah.
so
It's
let
all
me
right.
get back to that, I'll come right back to that. So, labor and benefits irrigation fund, that's money we take in. You know, Chuck, I don't know if there's anything changing in there. You know, none of that. Ball field maintenance maybe should go up to $250 a month.
Yep.
I don't know, that's up to you guys to make.
How much,
I think you have to make a motion on that.
How much are we getting monthly?
What's that, I'm sorry, Eileen?
How much are they paying us monthly?
15 right now.
So you're saying 1750?
Yes.
I think
From
it
the
needs to go...
HOA?
I mean,
Yes.
the cost of everything is going up. So budget for the additional 250 a month. Did you budget for that here
I'm sorry?
with the ball field?
What about it?
Did you budget for the 250 increase?
No.
Or okay. So
It's in
add-
here? 750?
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
15,750 versus 15, yeah,
Yeah, okay.
an extra 750.
Thank you.
The BMP safety EPA requirements, increased that to $700 a month. I believe that's a $50 increase. Or 75, sorry. Small tools, that's definitely went up. That's chainsaws, backpack rollers, weed eaters, things of those nature. We increased that to $4,000 a year, which is a $1,500 a year increase, which is maybe 2 pieces of equipment, you know, depending. SOG, we've increased to $10,000 a year. That's a $4,000 annual increase. Shipping. Crazy.
When we do the corners, and we're going to solve that, that could come out of the new landscape bond, Chuck?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So you don't have to budget, so when we take the bushes out of each of the corners, and we're sodding, that's part of the new landscape project. So that,
And that's not golf course,
that's common area, and that will come from the bond?
yeah,
Okay.
correct. Supplies, we increased that to up 2,200. That's things for both the shop and the golf course, cleaning products, things of that nature, coolers, stuff like that. Telephone staying the same. That hasn't went up at all. Top dressing, that's went up a little bit. They've actually tacked on, said fuels went up, it's like $100 a load, fuel surcharged on us. And they said they'll remove it once fuel calms down, but I don't know if that's ever gonna happen. Yeah, the actual material itself hasn't really increased all that much. Trash removal. That's how much we pay to get our horticultural waste removed. That's going up a little bit to $9,000 annually. So it's just a few $100 a year, not too bad, sorry. Wash rack maintenance is up $50 a month per them, wash rack maintenance company that maintains that. And then water and sewer staying the same.
Okay.
Tree and shrubs.
Yeah, tree and shrub.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did. Tree and shrubs, so this is a number that can be removed, and I forgot, palms. tree trimming. So I added $20,000 this year for palm trimming, and I also added $20,000 for, when it dries out, clearing in between 11 and 12. If you take those two numbers away, you know, it puts the budget more in line of like 12% increase, it's 40,000. But I put them in there preliminary, just because I know we had some issues last year, people were complaining about the palm trees. I know, of course, it's been probably 5-6 years ago since we decided not to trim them anymore. I didn't know if that was something to maybe revisit. But I just put it in there, but it's something that can be taken out. You know,
Well, what do you think that we need to trim the,
From a horticultural standpoint, no, but from a pleasing your constituents and your residents, that's not my choice, you know, that's not my,
yeah,
you know.
okay. Well, let's think about that. And just,
Yeah, I mean, we got time, we got.
yeah. And then, trees and shrubs.
Trees and shrubs, right.
That's part of that.
The majority of that, the 20,000 is to clear out that area.
Between 11 and 12.
Between 11 and 12.
I'd really like to see that cleaned out. I think that would be money well spent.
Me too.
So I'd like to keep that.
Can it be maintained so we don't have to do this big expense every 2 years? Because it grows fast, obviously, and
Okay, well, let's leave it in for now and think about it, because I think it would be nice if we could clean that out. Okay.
And then, you want to go to Jeff, and then I'll come back on the payroll. I'll get this
Yeah, you work
payroll
on
thing
it.
figured out real
Yeah,
quick.
figure that out real quick. Okay, Jeff.
So I don't have quite as comprehensive a view as John here with his. Most of my costs are fixed when it comes to that. I haven't really dug in so much. A couple changes I see, a couple things I need some explanations on. But all in all, like our expenses don't go up that much except as payroll and payroll tax. All the other costs are basically fixed. Credit card charges. Revenue-wise, projecting, let's see here, 3257, which is pretty decent considering our total expenses looked at it at 2.8. I believe it's about a $200,000 profit. If we would like to do what we've kind of kicked around for a year or so, since we've gotten a better financial position, at looking at paying the bond, the golf course bond off early, and that's the 2014 Series 2 bond. That puts us at right about the number we would need to hold back at the end of the fiscal year to pay that bond payment for those years. The reason for doing that would be for John and for the golf course to be able to regrass the course. To Mr. Gene Bates's comments about the sedge grass growing, one of the things that we need to do is burn out the entire grass on the golf course and completely regrass it. By 2025, you're looking at the roughs haven't been redone since 1999. That's a long time in Florida. I know Heritage Palms, since I've been here 11 years, on June 13th, Heritage Palms has done one of their courses twice.
Yep.
So just in general, that's where we want to get to. The bottom line for me is to create enough revenue to do that, to be able to put these payments back and get there earlier and hopefully be able to let him do that in 2025 in 3 years. That's where I would like to see us get to.
Okay.
You know, we're going to work to grow around. We're going to look to grow revenue. We're going to look to go up in rate, and I'll have rate for you next month. I do have some preliminary numbers that I ran to get to this number, but I'll give you the idea on the blended rate and what the actual physical rates will be as far as the top end seasonal rates. And that's all I really have. You know, the other administrative part, I just need some numbers with the lease. And one thing, are we going to take the parking lot out of what we pay as far as the rent?
That's what I was talking to Chuck and Tony about.
far as a CAM payment?
No, no, no. Part of our, for those of you who don't know, 10 years ago, 12 years ago?
12 years ago.
12 years ago, the golf course was one day late on their rent, and since then, they've been assessed a surcharge for using the parking lot.
It's $3,000 a month.
So, can we adjust the lease to do that? The pro shop will still pay rent for the facilities they're using. But Tony and Chuck and I talked about it the other day, and Tony was going to...
I haven't finalized it yet.
Okay, he's looking into it.
The possibility is there for...
Yes.
Yeah.
That kind of like, that administrative number will explain there, $36,000 one way or the other.
Yeah.
Once we get to that.
Yeah.
But,
It's called the parking easement area, I think. too.
Right.
it was
103 spaces.
It was a $360,000 penalty is what it was.
Yeah.
When you add it all up over the years.
So, that's the one thing that I would like to really eliminate.
Part of our discussion was that's different than pro shop paying the lease, which will continue to pay.
The pro shop will continue to pay their rental lease for the...
This is different. So
Right.
This is, there'll be more discussion on that, that when the district acquires a property, that they no longer have that obligation to be made.
Right. Because with the lease, we'll still pay the rent, we'll still pay into the reserves, and we'll still pay for the CAM, which will pay for AGS, the roof, and the reserves for the lift station.
But not pay for the 103 parking.
Not pay for 103 parking spaces. So we just have to wait till settlement to do that.
The concessions, as far as concessions goes, I mean, a lot's tied into what we do with that liquor license. Right now, it's got it set as a small increase year to year. But if you get liquor, that's a 30 to 40% increase in revenue right there.
Right.
So that's something to think about. If we wind up negotiating something with Duffy's to take over concessions entirely, then we need to make sure we get paid properly.
We would get paid
Because
for that, plus whatever their sales are, we get a percentage of the
Right,
sales.
so when you add the liquor in, you're gonna go from a $140,000 a year business to a $350,000 a year business probably. Just something to think about.
Okay.
But that's all I really have at this meeting. We'll have more details in the July meeting.
Okay. All right. Does anybody have any questions on the budget?
If we want to revisit this real quick.
Okay.
So it's actually, as it sits right now, it's a $93,290 increase over last year, which is, goes from 563,000 to 656,000, which is a 7% increase. That's just payroll. That's not adding, even though I have some of that money in there, the vacation time, because I did
Right.
increase vacation time, overtime hours, right? More hours, the more money. Some of that is payroll. That's the difference. Some of that difference is the vacation and
Overtime.
the buying back the vacation if we
Okay.
were to do it. Because you have to leave that money in there, right? You have to,
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
Like I said, next month I'll have all that laid out per person, per how much it costs. So that's what it is. And that's everything. It has Todd, everybody. And that number is a 3% increase starting October 1st.
A salary
A
increase
salary.
across the board. Okay.
Not myself, but for every other staff member, that's a 3% increase.
Okay.
When did we increase them last?
Was it February or?
Everybody got something then?
Yeah, everybody went up $2 an hour.
I think it was,
It's around like.
it was probably February, because I'm thinking we had,
1575,
It's about a $50,000 payroll.
Yeah, okay,
Pro shop and,
right,
everybody,
everybody.
We were in March.
so
Or
50,
the following month.
yeah.
100 grand.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys still have work to do.
I don't have any, what was that?
I said you do, hello? Yeah, I said you two guys still have some work to do.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
that's what it-
which we always do, so.
$8,000, is that balls?
Yeah,
We want to do mass, right?
yeah.
Is that in there?
That's not it.
Okay.
So like, yeah.
Make yourself alone.
We're gonna determine like how many mats.
I mean, we're getting a much more increase in revenue from rain sales
Oh, yeah.
now, so I mean, I don't know how much those mats cost
It's about 30,000 replaced.
for the whole.
Yeah, so just maybe a little more 33.
Yeah. And real quick, since we're talking about the range, do you have an update on the vending machine?
It's here, I have it. Here's, let's talk about that a little bit. So, we're gonna build a freestanding structure for this range machine to go in. So it's protected from the weather and it's protected from vandalism, protected from all those things. So, that being said, we're trying to get some other things done up there with improvements. So we have a two-phase thing going with Tyler Construction, that they're gonna build the building for the range dispenser and replace the tent with a pavilion, a standing.
Permanent structure.
Permanent structure, standing pavilion.
Interesting.
We've gone to an architect, we signed paperwork with him today. I'm gonna have to bring Phil in on it with me, and we're gonna talk with them on what we're doing. We're gonna change the front of the house right there by the parking lot, that building that's been there since the place opened. It's fallen apart, but it's one of the best, well-made buildings I've ever seen. But it's gone through 2 hurricanes and it's been run over 3-4 times. But anyway, it's still standing, but it's dilapidated. It's time for an update. So all these pieces would match together, and we need approval from the village. So, we can't just go do it without village permits. Tony, we may need to help us there a little bit.
No problem.
When it comes that time. But, we want to make it all match, including the starter shack, because I've heard a few comments here and there that the starter shack is an eyesore. We want to make it all match and not look like Cox's Army out there, and put it all together and make it all match. So that's where we're at with that. We have the machine.
Yeah.
It's still encased in plastic and in the car barn.
And you got a rough estimate on ETA?
November.
Okay.
I mean, it all depends on the city pulling the permit and it all working. Because all these buildings would be prefab. So it's prefab, they come in, they put up, boom, boom, boom.
To have it fully completed, but get it permitted, you think it'd be much sooner than that? Because I don't want to lose the daylight savings time with this machine we already own. So the sooner we get that operational, the sooner we start getting revenue
I don't
between
want to print out that weather either.
5 and 8. Well, no, not without the structure covering it, protecting it, but,
Talk to me after the meeting, please.
okay.
Okay, so we're good with budgets for now?
Yep.
Okay. Where are we now? Corkscrew Pines drainage, Tony.
I don't know if the engineers have, but I just found it.
Yeah, I have received an inquiry email, so I still owe them, we still owe them a letter. That's
We're
that's
next
the
to that.
reasons why we don't want them there, so.
Okay.
And copy the village on it.
And just as an aside, on the South Florida permit side, I was just checking that permit file to see if any new activity. There's a May 5th request for additional information from South Florida to that applicant, it looks like.
Okay.
And it says the construction authorization for this site that was previously assessed and approved for development as part of the master stormwater system for Stony Brook has expired. Wetland boundaries previously assessed were non-binding. Therefore, please flag the wetland boundaries and arrange for a field inspection. Then they have to do a new, what they call a flux map. It's a Florida land use cover classification system map. They have to provide acreage of each wetland of a surface water area. It seems like they've got a ways to go. And then one of the last, number 10, based on the submitted plans, the proposed stormwater management system will discharge into the existing stormwater management system located on the property owned by the Stony Brook CDD. please provide copies of relevant easements that allow for this. And there's been no response yet. They have 90 days to respond to that. And they also owe more money because there's wetlands. They paid the application fee of $1,200, now they have to pay another $3,300. So I think they have some room to move.
Can't we just tell them we're not giving them approval and stop all this?
Again, to the extent
I
that
won't
they
know,
need
I won't
easements.
know no matter what they
Well,
do.
no, to the extent that they need easements from us, we can say, no, we're not going to give you the easements.
Yeah.
But then you run into the issue of what's the articulatable basis for it, because the district was established to handle stormwater and that infrastructure. So, and that's where you run into difficulty, you can't be arbitrary.
Because we think stuff's going to drain into our property.
Well, it's not just that, once again, it has to be an articulatable basis, in other words, is it going to...
I'm articulating.
No one has, I think it's a sustainable factor, the objective basis, other than we don't want it. Seriously, from the standpoint of if they wanted to challenge it, I don't know if they ever would, it would take a long time probably to resolve it. So they've not asked us for any easements yet, right?
Not yet.
They just asked us to apply and join them and that co-applicate with the
Consent.
Pardon?
They want our consent.
And I guess we can just say, no, we're not going to grant the consent.
Well, yeah, I think we listed a list of reasons why, so
Yeah.
give them the bullet points.
At the present time, subject to further review,
Here are our issues.
at the present time,
Work through these and maybe we'll get there.
yep,
Okay.
reserve the right to provide additional issues. Yeah. And so,
You know, I've been driving around looking at gas stations are there any next to schools? I can't find any. We're going to be the first people to say, okay, let's build a gas station next to a school and our community and our drainage. That's crazy.
With the already existing traffic issues on Corkscrew,
Correct.
Yeah.
which are going to get nothing but worse, obviously.
Oh, it's going to be horrible. Especially since they're going from 2 lanes to 3 lanes to 2 lanes to 1 lane.
That's at 10,000 more units to flow.
Yes.
or the lack of flow.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll work on that.
Do we have to make a motion on that?
No,
I think, I
had the to-do list last month and I failed to get it done, so I wasn't in a real hurry to do it.
No, we had other pressing issues. Okay,
you're still here.
yes, we do. So this may be put off for a bit. Okay.
Hart has reached out through the Red Bird.
Okay, for the unaudited financial statements, do we have any, on the general fund, are we good with everything there? Guys?
Good.
Okay, for the,
It's good to me. Yeah.
the residents' reserve bonds, we only have, we have a payment in November and May, and then that's done, which is great. That's always good. The irrigation fund, Chuck, when we do the pump house in September, that's all paid for, we're not
Yeah,
going
you
through
said
it.
that money, you've been depreciating it over the years, you'll utilize that to reset it on the capital schedule.
Okay, so we'll be good with that.
Yep.
Okay. Irrigation fund is good. Golf course. The cash balance as of last Friday was $753,504, and that's actually $40,000 over where we were last year at this point in time, which is really good. Thank you. Do you have a question? And you guys jump in with any questions. I will say on the payroll for the concessions, the group insurance, Crosby and I went through that. There appeared to have been an issue with ADP and Florida Blue. They were continuing to charge us for employees that no longer worked here. We've since sent them the list, and they will be refunding that money to us. In the interim, the money that belonged in maintenance and belonged in the pro shop has been submitted. So right now, the variance to budget there is $14,000, and that's what Florida Blue will be sending back to us. And
So eventually that'll zero out.
yes, that will zero out, because what Crosby and I have done is given Lucy a list that, the way they get the paperwork from Florida Blue, it breaks it down by, not by groups like maintenance, general fund, it breaks it down by who's in what plan. So Crosby and I have given her a list that these 3 people go to maintenance, these people go to, so she has that. So each month when, I believe it will still, I'm not sure how it gets posted, but then she will break it out to put it to the right places. So we've got that all taken care of, which is good. And I will say that Jeff and Lucy have been very helpful with all that. So they were very good. Jeff, with the alarms, I know we had talked about, did you ever get with a gentleman about, since the alarms seem to be somebody yanking on the doors after hours, I suggested that Jeff get the hurricane shutters that come down for the front, both of the doors and the concession stand.
He's going to get a surprise.
He's going to get us a price on that, because I think that will offset whatever we're doing with the alarms. So if a window is broken, then we know somebody's trying to break in, and not just yanking on it. So, okay, Joe. Right, which would help with the insurance.
Save the cost right there.
You see? We're on a roll. Okay, so yeah, Jeff, if you could take care of that, I'd appreciate that. Otherwise, I think budgets look good. Can I have a motion to accept the budgets as?
Make a motion to accept the budget.
Second.
Financials.
All the financials. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Where's Chris? Chris, you still there?
And Chris. Okay, so for the minutes, okay. John, you said you haven't heard back from that other company. At this point, do we just hold off till next year and go back to the other company and ask them to pencil us in for a time next spring?
Yeah, speaking with Jeff, I'm going to call them and see if I can get that in writing.
Okay,
Early, right after the war.
okay. Yeah, let's do that. Gives us more time to save some more money.
I mean, all the greens look healthier now.
Oh, yeah.
They look
Oh, yeah.
great,
I know.
and the putting green doesn't look a whole lot different.
Oh, it's definitely way
Yeah.
better. That's the area we have to replace. It's going to get harder because
Yeah.
there's any organic on it now, right? So you've got 2 basically different environments, if you will, so it's going to get hotter faster, it's going to stress out quicker.
Yep.
You know, it doesn't have that protection of that organic matter, you know?
Yeah.
It's a balance of how much, you know? Keep showing,
Yeah, but let's get them penciled in for
Spring?
spring, because we were kind of behind the 8 ball this year. Okay, thank you. And John, you had spoken about getting that other machine.
Oh, core harvester. We're going to be purchasing a core harvester. This is to pick up the aerification plugs. Right now, we currently have it's a core dragger. It drags them to the end and then lifts them up. It helps because it kind of puts them off the green, but it doesn't. You have to go through the green into the collar to lift it up to where it stays in the collar, right? So now you're aerifying the collar when you don't want to, and then you're going back and then plugging the green again, and then you're getting that grass on the green. You don't want to do that. You risk encroachment issues. So what this does is we can retrofit it to one of our Toro Workmans, and you drive with it, and it picks them up. And as you're driving, it has a conveyor, it conveys it and dumps it. Because after we use the core harvester on the air fryer, we have to go by manually and pick these up. And it's very, very labor intensive. Very
And you-
most labor intensive part of the working out of golf.
What's the cost of that?
That's like $5,500.
Do it.
Yeah.
And you hired outside
Yeah, I mean, I
day
hired probably
laborers.
$1,200, $1,500 worth of outside labor.
Yeah, so I said, go ahead and get that, because
It doesn't make sense to keep doing it. And they gave me, no offense, I'm not saying it like that, but, you know, I told him what we were doing, and the gentleman works in the golf course industry, he knows what exactly they're talking about. I say, hey, we're picking up pours, that's all we're doing, super labor intensive. And I was given 3 petite women and a very old man. You know,
Ageist and sexist.
You know, I'm just like, you know,
You don't discriminate.
what do you want me to say? I mean, like,
I'm just kidding.
Factual observation.
Actual observation is not the four strongest people you probably could pull. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I'm fit in the age mark, so.
The camera's off there, right?
It's a joke, it's a joke.
So when we get that equipment, you just have to let Joe know?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so that was the palm trees. Any changes on page 2? Page 3.
I think, Madam Chair, there's two places, line 84. I think the word ball should be up to the word range. Range ball dispenser.
The range, yes. I'm just going to dispense the range. Okay.
On line 92, it looks like an extra width jumped in after May. Mr. Nixon reported that at a Shriners event in early May with, so I don't know if some words are missing or just going to strike the word with.
And then,
That's the way he talks.
yes. I mean, it probably should be where
Georgia.
yeah, just withdraw with. Withdraw with, thank you. Okay. That. On page 153, the resident is a homeowner in the CDD. It should be in the community. Line 153.
On line 154, it says 31,320, $13,000.
Right, that was the 13,000.